Hi, this is Steve Mariucci, and you're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
The autumn wind is a pirate, blustering in from sea. With a rollicking song, he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
Hey, welcome to Bay Area Sports Wrap. I'm Marko the Raider Pimp, continuing to celebrate the Halloween weekend here, and I got alongside me walking in is former NFL head coach Mike Ditka, a.k.a. Ryan Leong.
That's right, Marko. You look great, by the way, Mr. Raider Pimp.
Thank you. I think it looks good as well.
It does. And hey, this is great. We enjoyed Halloween. Nothing like it. It's the best holiday outside of Christmas. And I tell you, if you're going to dress up like Mike Ditka like I am, you got to wear the real thing, okay? And I got the commercial to prove it. You got to wear a Cliff Angle sweater vest. None of this Amazon fake crap. You know, even Mitch Trubisky one time dressed up as Ditka. He didn't have the real deal. I got the real vest, okay? And got the Ray-Ban sunglasses to prove it. And, of course, a cigar, baby.
Welcome to the NFL.
There's nothing like being in the NFL, so get in the action. Come on, get into it.
Now you're in the NFL when you get into the NFL Pro Line, because now with the NFL Pro Line, you can get the real thing. The same equipment Mike Ditka and all the rest of the NFL coaches use, the tools of the trade. Coaches' shirts and shorts by Bike. Coach's cap by Sports Specialties.
Same one I wear.
Sweater by Cliff Angle.
That's my sweater.
And the starter jacket, custom tailored, custom designed.
Who's the new coach?
You could be next.
Look for the authentic NFL Pro Line.
Okay, get into it.
NFL Pro Line, get into it. For your NFL Pro Line catalog, send $1 with your name and address to 6921 Preston Road, Dallas, Texas, 75205. NFL Pro Line, get into it.
And the 85 Bears go down as one of the greatest NFL teams ever, Marko.
They did. 15-1. That 85 Bears defense is known as the greatest defense of all time in the NFL. And so, yeah, we like to celebrate the history of the NFL here on Halloween weekend. So, speaking of that, the San Francisco 49ers were out in the Meadowlands today taking on the New York Giants, and they came away with the 34-24 victory, and it was a very, very good rebound win for the San Francisco 49ers, who just played god-awful last week against the Houston Texans. And it was nice that Coach Kyle Shanahan, the son of Mike Shanahan, kept a simple formula. And for the 49ers to win, here's a simple formula. You give the ball to Christian McCaffrey as many times as possible, and usually when that happens, then the 49ers usually come out top as winners, and that's what they did today. You had a great first half by the San Francisco offense. You had Mac Jones going 14 for 14, perfect throwing percentage in that first half was 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. And one of them was the Juwan Jennings, who had 4 catches for 41 yards in that first half. And now you look at what the Niners defense did, and they gave up the touchdown on the opening drive to the Giants, but after that, they really kept the 25th pick in this year's NFL draft, Jackson Dart, in check, Warren.
Yeah, they did. And I tell you, Marko, it's great to see McCaffrey give the ball to CMC and let him run with it. By the way, I think you made the Mike Shanahan confusion because you're thinking of Coach Ditka.
Well, we're going back to the 80s, right? And that's when Mike Shanahan was a coach back then for Denver. And so, that's when he has his success. Actually, people probably don't notice, but he was an actual offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers before he took that Denver Broncos job. So.
And then before that, he was also the Raiders head coach, wasn't he?
He was. And we all know how that ended. And so the point that, Al Davis hated him and never wanted him back.
But by the way, speaking of Mike Shanahan, I'm on this 80s fashion kick. There's a really cool photo of Mike Shanahan on a baseball card wearing what else? The Raiders black starter jacket, okay? So he was rocking that old black satin jacket, which is, as you know, Marco, I own that jacket, by the way.
Yes,
and many others, including the Bears jacket. I'm not wearing stickers. I got to show off again the great Cliff Engel vest.
Right. If this wasn't Halloween weekend, he'd be in a starter jacket.
That's right.
We all know that.
Well, I could have worn it tonight. I have the Bears starter jacket, but you just got to, the real Ditka look is having the vest. So, again, I'm just rocking this so much that I enjoy it. But, getting back to the Niners, I'll tell you, it was a really important game. They had to get off the previous loss at Houston. They just didn't play very well against the Texans. This time against a Giants team that's really been struggling this year. In fact, my buddy Alan, drawing a blank on his last name, he does stats for the Warriors.
Okay.
And Alan is just a big diehard Giants fan, so he's really bummed out. I mean, he's just, watching the Giants is just really disappointing to him.
Yeah. And you look at the way the Niners performed again, with the exception of some couple of late game garbage time touchdowns, as I like to call them. Again, Jackson Dart didn't have that great of a game. I mean, fantasy-wise, he put up some numbers for you guys, but again, 24-33 overall for 191 yards. That's not a lot of yards for him. He didn't rush as well. He didn't get that many rushing yards, and the 49ers did sack him a lot, and he also pressured him a lot, despite having all those injuries to their defensive line. So. Robert Saleh, his defensive scheme against them worked really well. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you had in the second half that the Niners just ran the ball down the Giants' throats. And that's what they needed to do to win this game. Obviously, Mac Jones, who got off to a great start in the first half, didn't do that hot in the second half, but he didn't need to. Because when you give the ball to Christian McCaffrey, who led everyone, not just in receiving yards, but also in rushing yards today. He has a total, he went
106 and 67.
106 and 67 total. And he even had Brian Robinson, who's been kind of an afterthought since he got traded to the 49ers. He had a 19-yard touchdown today, or I believe it was 18-yard, but he scored, and he, again, contributed. And when you have a two-headed attack in the rushing game like you have with McCaffrey and Robinson, that's the formula for success for the San Francisco 49ers going forward. They have to rely on that. They have to make Christian McCaffrey the number one person, the catalyst of that offense, Ryan.
Absolutely, Marco. And hey, just like those Bears, right? They ran the ball, but in that Super Bowl, I'll tell you, Walter Payton did not get the ball enough. They kept giving the ball to Refrigerator Perry, didn't they, as I recall?
Yes. Refrigerator Perry scored a rushing touchdown, but Walter Payton did not in that 85 Super Bowl, or 86 Super Bowl.
86, yeah.
Yeah, against the New England Patriots, where they destroyed him. What was it, 45-10 or 44-10 or something like that?
Yeah. You can watch it on YouTube. The whole game is on there.
Exactly.
And then Ditka gets carried off the field wearing what? The get-up. He's wearing this.
So, a good win for the 49ers. They're now a half game behind Seattle and the Los Angeles Rams for first place in the NFC West. And guess who happens just to come into town this next Sunday, Ryan, for the 49ers?
Maybe they'll be serving lamb in the press box. What do you think, huh? Yeah, that gave you a hint.
I would love if they served lamb in that press box. And the Niners food in that press box is so good. Hopefully they'll have either the carving station or an omelet station. They usually do one of the two, but yeah, I love the food there. But the Los Angeles Rams come to San Francisco, Levi Stadium next Sunday, and look, they're playing great. Getting the addition of Davante Adams has been a revelation for this team. Matthew Stafford, people are saying he should be part of the MVP talk, the way he's been playing. So this is going to be the first really big test for the 49ers with the Rams coming in this Sunday.
I got to give a shout out to my friend Nick and his wife Julie for, I think the cigar came from their wedding. So thank you for the prop for this Halloween costume. I'll be smoking this cigar next Sunday when I see you guys at your tailgate. So that's going to be really fun. And that's another thing about the Niners I enjoy. They got good tailgating there. which I enjoy. And of course, the food, as you mentioned, at the Niners is great. We don't even make time for the post-game beers. But, well, they used to have better beers. Not that you guys care, but we used to get real beers, and now they give us Bud Light. Like, who drinks Bud Light? That's like that scene in Back to the Future when Biff comes back to George McFly's house after he crashes their car and says, I bring your car back, and all you got for me is light beer?
Exactly.
And that's like us. We come cover the 49ers, and all you got for us is Bud Light?
Exactly. And just cheese pizza now. They used to have like really good pizza.
Oh, yeah.
But hey, that's post-game.
Beggars can't be choosers, right?
Exactly. Free is free, as they say.
That's right.
So we look forward to covering that game for you guys next Sunday at Levi's. But right now, we just want to quickly switch to the San Jose Sharks, because if you happen to maybe notice in the background here, we're at the Shark Tank, and look at those banners. So,
yeah.
And tonight's game was a shootout loss to the Detroit Red Wings, 3-2. James Van Riemsdyk scored the only goal in the shootout for the Red Wings, and they won 3-2. But it was a good game by the Sharks. They really kept the high-flying Detroit team in check for the most part, only allowing 2 goals, and they came back in this game. And I thought that the way we're seeing out of Celebrini and Smith and guys like, you look at
Sam Dickinson got his first
Sam
goal?
Dickinson got his first goal, and that's awesome. He was in perfect position to receive that pass, and Wenberg's been playing well for them. So the Sharks are now 4-6-3 on the season, and they started out the season 0-5-2. So
yeah.
The fact that they're up where they're at right now, they're showing that promise now, Ryan.
Yeah, it's encouraging that they're getting points, because that's the thing is as long as you keep getting points, that says a lot. And while we were watching this game tonight, I even predicted at some point that this game was going to go to overtime, which it did, and then it went to a shootout. And anytime you lose in a shootout, it's not really a loss, because it's a skills competition. And I'll give you guys all a good example. When Ron Wilson was the head coach, that's when they started doing the whole shootout format. I'll never forget, after about the 3rd time we asked him, he got really mad at us. Because they'd say, how do you feel about losing a shootout? And he looked at us and said, it's a skills competition. Which it is. So if you lose a shootout, you can't really feel bad, because the key is, can you win the game in regulation or can you win it in overtime? If you can't win it in one of those, hey, shootouts are it's like a coin flip, right? You can have your best shooters out there, and some nights you're going to beat the goalie, and some night the goalie's going to beat you.
Right, exactly. And again, when it comes to like tiebreakers and all that, regulation and overtime wins count more in the standings than the shootout wins do. So yeah, I am the same way. I don't care for shootouts when they get to that, and wins and losses. It's a point at the end of the day that the Sharks earned, and they're going to continue to really, surprise some people. I've been talking to the visiting team these last few games, and they're really have been talking well about how it's this young core is coming together, and the speed and the skill that they possess, and how they're going to be tough to play really in this coming future here.
Yeah. So this week, by the way, we got a few games. I have to go away for a work thing for my day job, my real job. So Marco's going to fill in for me at the Warriors. So he's probably going to likely have some Phoenix Suns post game, because that's who the Warriors are playing. We'll be back here at the Shark Tank on Friday. The Sharks take on the Jets. West Side Story. Right, yeah, see? Sharks and the Jets. If you don't know the reference, well, you probably saw the remake, which came out, which is not a good movie. Go see the original.
Right.
The original's great. So Sharks and Jets, it's West Side Story on Friday. And then Saturday, you said the Florida Panthers?
Yes, the world champs come back to the Shark Tank, the back-to-back champs. And then actually before that, I will be here for the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss that.
And he's unfortunately not going to be there, but I will represent us, Bay Area Sports Rap, and hopefully we'll have some interviews with Landon Donovan,
yes.
One of the greatest American soccer players in the history, and a 2-time champion with your San Jose Earthquakes as well.
And a shout out to our buddy Keon Johnson for helping put on the San Jose Sports Hall of Fame. You're the man, Keon. Sorry I can't be there. I'd love to be there. It's a great, not only great ceremony, but it's just a whole nice setup. They turned the Shark Tank into a whole banquet floor, right? So they set it up with the plaques. I think at least in years past, you go through the main entrance of the Shark Tank. They usually have a little lit up sign on the side, and then they have a meet and greet with people, and they have appetizers, and then they have the main program. So Marco, I hope you have a great time. I'm bummed I'm going to miss out on it, but I'm looking forward to your coverage, and all of you for subscribing. We appreciate your subscribers, and if not, please like and subscribe to Barry Sports Rap. I've been messing around with this program called CapCut, so I am turning our videos into something that look like something out of Sports Center. So we're coming after the local TV stations. We want to look as good as some of the people that we've gotten taglines for, like Larry Beal at ABC7 or Joe Fonzie at KTVU.
Right.
Like, I'm inspired by you guys. So, I've been watching your guys over the years, whether it's Pete, the KTVU photographer, or Abe Mendoza, who was here at the Shark Tank.
Right.
Hey, those guys, by osmosis, I've learned how to shoot videos pretty darn good now. And apparently, even one of my friends who's, he works at Channel 2, his name is Mark, he said our stuff is so good, he's like, don't put him out of a job. Don't worry, Mark. I'm not here to do that. I just want our stuff to look as good as possible. So, again, we really appreciate all your support. Shall we close out on that note?
Let's close out on that note.
For Marko the Raider Pimp, I am Mike Ditka, and I'm Ryan Leong. And thank you for watching Bay Area Sports Wrap. We'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Chuck Swirsky, radio voice of the Chicago Bulls for Bay Area Sports Wrap. And please give a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel.